Wir freuen uns auf einen jungen Mann aus Wales, 25 Jahre ist er alt, hat gerade die Stationen im Nachwuchs der PDC alle durchschritten, hat Erfolge gefeiert auf der Youth Tour, auf der Development Tour und auf der Challenge Tour. 2015 stand er auch mal im Viertelfinale des World Grand Prix. Gestern einen guten Auftritt gehabt in der ersten Runde. Mal sehen, was heute für ihn geht. Herzlich willkommen, Rasta J.Lewis.
Michael Smith and J.Lewis in our penultimate game of the evening session as these two young guns fight it out for a place in the final day of action at the Happy Bet German Darts Grand Prix. The big names have not been hanging around this evening. Michael van Gerwen took 9 minutes and 3 seconds to see off Richard North. Davil Gurney, well, it was a convincing display against Keegan Brown, only dropping the one leg. Can the number 5 seed, Michael Smith, produce something similarly emphatic? Well, J.Lewis showed a lot of guts and determination in his first round win against Andy Bolton that suggests that he may be coming back into a bit of form. He is a former Euro Tour finalist, J.Lewis, but he does not have the European Tour pedigree that his opponent has. 4 Euro Tour titles for Michael Smith, including one this year in Gibraltar. And looking to add to that tally. One of only 3 winners on the Euro Tour this year, Michael Smith, and one of them has been knocked out today. Peter Wright, 6-2 by Ronnie Huybrechts. The other one has averaged 111, Michael van Gerwen.
First leg, Michael, to throw first. Game on.
Paul Nicholson alongside me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box for this one.
Well, both guys forgot their razor this weekend. That beard of Michael Smith is getting jungle-like.
31.
Not quite Vejo Vinica stakes, but it's getting there. Yeah.
Maybe he's going to go down his own beard to be feared route.
Well, he's certainly a player to be feared, Michael Smith.
You can tell from his neckline
60.
that he's edging it out. This is not laziness. This is something he's done on purpose.
Crafted.
J.Lewis, however, is a little bit more trimmed.
100.
But sharp tungsten is what we want. And this is what we're getting.
140.
Enough to get to a finish. J.Lewis cannot leave a finish from 3-5-1.
There is absolutely no reason why this couldn't be a world final someday.
100.
Well,
70.
It has been said about both these players at various times that they're going to go on and become world champions, or could do.
130.
Michael Smith is obviously further along that route than J.Lewis. However, huge admiration for J.Lewis. Such admiration, I can barely get the words out of my mouth.
Michael, you require 40.
Tops for a 13 darter, 10s for a 14 darter, 5s for a 15 darter.
30. Maybe you require
133 for a 15 darter. Treble 20. Not to be on this occasion. Michael will want to get rid of this leg as soon as
59.
possible.
Michael, you require 10.
Doesn't want to be fiddling around on doubles too much. Double 2. Gets it this time. That's a nice find. Because if he misses that, all of a sudden he invites J.Lewis to get a chance and denies him that chance.
Yeah, Michael Smith, one way or another, getting the first leg on the board. It was a curious game that J.Lewis played out with X-Factor Andy Bolton yesterday. It's a real thriller in its own right. I mean, Jamie averaged almost 95. He hit 4 180s and the crucial one in a deciding leg. Fantastic determination from the young Welshman to just find something to get that game won. When he was in charge of it, it looked like Bolton had got the upper hand, and then he
57.
Turned it on in the final leg. Really good stuff, and reminiscent of the stuff he produced in Gibraltar a few years back when he went all the way to the final. He was beaten by Phil Taylor, but along the way he beat Kevin Painter and Adrian Lewis, both in deciding legs, scoring 180s in the deciding legs of both of those matches, and won £10,000 that weekend. As Michael Smith hits the first 180, and that £10,000 got Jamie Lewis in the match play because it put him in the final qualifying spot £500 above Michael Smith.
96.
It's funny how things come around sometimes, isn't it?
He didn't like that, Michael Smith. He still talks about it now. He's talking about it earlier.
Dart players have got very good memories.
Yes. Yes, they do. And they hold grudges.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Some of them they don't even talk about. But Jamie Lewis, his bottle has never been in question. The kid's got it in spades, he really has.
60.
And I like him a lot. I'm a big fan. I think he's making adjustments to his game year on year that make him a better player. Well, 16.
The throw is as smooth as we ever seen for Jamie Lewis. And he's illustrated it there, checking out 62 to level this match.
I think Jamie would benefit a lot from spending more time with someone like Joe Cullen. I see him in that sort of ilk of player. He's lost a bit of timber. He looks great. He's got a great temperament. I think that's his best thing in his locker.
100.
He's got some crazy scoring power when he gets that first dart in, just like Michael Smith. But he's got the bottle to go with it, and all of those ingredients.
96.
That's a Michelin-starred player for me.
Well, look, he's got the raw ingredients, you're right. And as I recall, Jamie Lewis illustrated that, I mean, not only in that run to Gibraltar, many other times before, but I've got a feeling he beat Michael Smith at the World Grand Prix a couple of years back. It may have been a first or second round game, and it went all the way to the deciding set. And Jamie Lewis again just illustrated that he's got bottle, that he's able to hold it together under pressure. I don't think you'd put Jamie Lewis in the same explosive category as Michael Smith in terms of the stuff we've seen, and that's what's propelled Michael Smith to 4 Euro Tour titles. I mean, I genuinely look at him sometimes and think he could live with anybody with the way that he can just consistently fire in ton 80s and ton 40s and take out big finishes. And we've seen that he's beaten Michael van Gerwen in 2 Euro Tour finals.
140. Michael 52.
Single 12. The tops. The preferred route. Executed brilliantly by Michael Smith.
Jamie to throw first.
That'll be a relief for Michael Smith to not faff around on the doubles. We saw him win in Gibraltar this year, Michael Smith. We saw him make the... Oh, rang about. Maximum for Jamie Lewis. His first of the game. We saw him make the semi-finals last weekend, and when you talk about explosive, 60. The way he started, he hadn't played anything like his Top Gear stuff, Michael Smith, leading up to that semi-final with Michael van Gerwen. Jamie Lewis. Oh, it's 5 perfect darts, but we're denied another attempt at the 1-4-1 for the perfect leg. Kyle Anderson was on it twice earlier on tonight. Thought he was going, he said. But yeah, Michael Smith hadn't played anywhere like his best leading up to that semi-final, and shot out of the blocks like lightning out of a gun. It was unreal. He was averaging 120 after the first 2.5, 3 legs. But the crowd got on his back, 5,000 Dutch fans cheering on MVG, and it got to him, and he ended up losing the match. He still averaged 104, but he didn't win another leg after getting the first 2. And it's 2 apiece here. Jamie Lewis just illustrating that he's not going to be intimidated or bullied by the bully boy, firing in an 11-darter.
11 darters prove to your opponent that you're here to play it. Something Jamie Lewis wants to do in the coming months, because he's trying to get his way back into big TV events, somewhere that he has been before and been competitive. You can see from the attitude of Jamie Lewis, the The clenching of the teeth, the aggression, it's
99.
something I haven't seen from him before. I like it.
It's more steely determination. He's got that.
Do you know a Welsh dart player that isn't steely? Think of the likes of Johnny Clayton,
82.
Gerwyn Price, you've got Mark Webster, Richie Burnett, Robert Owen. They're all got the X factor, I guess.
Well, I mean, a
Bit of oomph.
determined, certainly talented, yes. Steely, Barry Bates. Bubbly.
He had his moments, especially that finish in the World Cup semi-final, which broke my heart. So
59.
that wasn't so much steely, it was
57.
bragging.
Barry Bates, eh? Treble 19. Didn't get a dart at the bullseye. Didn't
99.
need to go for it, but Michael Smith, he's one of these players who does occasionally like to take out a big finish just to show that he can.
Sometimes in a slightly unconventional way.
140.
But just in case, Jamie Lewis is on his tail.
68.
He is on his tail. Lovely dart. Yeah,
Charles
really nice.
Leclerc, Michael
And the
Smith,
last
Leclerc,
couple of legs on throw for
J.Lewis.
Michael Smith. He's taken out the double, first time of asking. And when the doubles are going for Michael Smith, that's when he looks really dangerous.
He does indeed.
And
45.
it's kind of like, I said this about Peter Wright earlier on, where I don't think he's been playing at his best stuff, and it was illustrated this evening with Ronnie Hybrex beating him. But Peter Wright was still winning games despite not
45.
playing his best. Michael Smith, last weekend in Holland, was not playing his best. I mean, his averages 87, 93, 89, still winning the games. Oh, look at that for grouping.
In the last 3 games, I've seen 3 of the best 180s I've ever seen.
140.
One from Gurney, and the last one was particularly impressive. I couldn't actually see the second dart, but that one, that was brilliant. I tell you what, that is something I can't do as a dart player. I've
60.
done a few things in my time, but that's something I can't do, and that's a rare skill.
81.
Something Michael Smith can do. Chizzy, Anderson. You put Jamie Lewis in there with that pack. So he's someone who can actually build on that. Rugby shot right in the middle. Yet another one. Jamie Lewis on for a 10. Sorry, a 13.
Yeah, well, it's good. And
65.
Jamie Lewis's average
And you require 36.
is a good few points clear of Michael Smith's right now. Switch over to double 9. There we go. It's a 15-darter in the end. And Jamie Lewis makes it 6 consecutive holds of throw in this game. He's going to have to find a break from somewhere.
96.
The average is just shy of 100 for Jamie Lewis right now. It is just shy of 90. Oh, well, there we go. It's actually just come down a little bit, but 97 plays 90.
60.
And that's despite that first 9 average being, well, I mean, pedestrian for Jamie Lewis, if we're honest. But the finishing's been pretty good. And the back end of legs, that 180 there to set up the check out.
I would love to see the scoring sheet on his 4th visit, because that's what's inflating that first 9 average for Jamie Lewis.
That'll help though. 180, number 4, and it's almost as if... Oh, hang about. Now, he doesn't need to stay there yet.
130.
What he's actually tried to do is hit the 15s. He's very thinking clearly there, Michael Smith. Don't want to hit a ton 40, leave a bogey number. I'll move down to the 15s. Oh, I've missed it anyway. And look at this.
150.
It's almost as if Jamie Lewis heard me say earlier, you wouldn't put Jamie Lewis in the explosive category of Michael Smith with the scoring power. And he is, what, hit 4 180s to Michael Smith's 1 so far in the first 6.5 legs of this.
131.
He's making Michael Smith think.
21.
Because every time Michael Smith is away from the hockey, Jamie Lewis is doing something that's starting with 100. He's just making Michael Smith think, right, what do I need to do to get rid of this guy? Well, on this occasion, it's a 4 and tops. Gets the 10, so he knows that's important.
Michael Smith.
Michael Smith tells you when it's important with a go on.
right, just like in those games in the Netherlands last weekend. Michael Smith right now is on his B game, maybe, well, his C game.
96.
And he's still leading this match, just as he managed to win games last weekend, despite not playing anywhere near his best. As I said about Peter Wright, this is actually a good sign. Obviously, you want to see him play at their absolute best, firing on all cylinders, all guns blazing, 110 averages, just dismantling. But you want it's thrilling to watch the best players in the world go out and perform at their best. But the fact that he's able to do this after spending all last year, even when he played well, he was losing. It has changed Michael Smith, and it is down, I'm pretty sure, to just managing to build up some confidence, put wins together, winning a title again on the European Tour. He very nearly won at the start of the year in the UK Open qualifiers, missed a dart or two to beat Peter Wright in one of the finals. But that was a sign that things were turning for Michael Smith, and it's continued to turn. And now it's got to a stage where he's finding ways to win when he's not even playing his best, when other times he played far superior to that, and he's lost. And he did it all the way through last year.
He's been on the circuit for a few years now and got a stack of titles behind his name. But now he's an experienced pro, as well as being young. So he can learn from mistakes, and if he can continue to learn from the small mistakes he makes, he's just going to get better on top of the ability that he already has.
Well, it can still be done. 19s, is it for Jamie Lewis? It is for double 14. Yeah, lovely stuff. And again, we see Jamie Lewis at the back end of a leg, putting a nerveless display.
I'm rubbing my hands in the commentary box because this is a very, very good game. And Michael Smith can't get rid of Jamie Lewis. The saving grace is that he will have the darts in the very last leg if it goes to 5-5.
120.
Unfortunate with that dart falling out the board. Jamie Lewis is averaging just over 100 here. He's had winning legs of 15, 15, 15 and 11.
100.
It is solid, consistent stuff, and this might be the best I've seen Jamie Lewis play on a big stage for a long while. I was very impressed against Andy Bolton. Very, very impressed. But this is just, look, he's in the mood. He's flowing. And he's looking like a player who can do some damage. And it's been a while since we've been able to say that about Jamie Lewis.
He's making it look easy as well. He looks in the zone. Nothing's bothering him. And that pickup from hitting the treble 5 on the last leg was just sensational. It proved to Michael Smith that even if he makes a small mistake, he can pick it up and rectify it.
However, that was a bit of a slip. And Smith isn't going to take out the 170, but he knows he's probably coming back. And Smith has been pretty good so far over the last few. Apart from that very first leg where he messed about on doubles, but he had such a lead that it didn't matter. He's been pretty good at taking out finishers like that 70. And he's going to get a go at it. But the thing is, this game, they've been neck and neck right the way through, and it's whoever blinks first. One mistake could prove fatal. But it's not going to happen in this leg, and a bit of a sigh of relief for Michael Smith there.
And the reason for that, not just because it took him 2 darts to hit the double, but Jamie Lewis was sitting on that 100 again.
And it's not deterred him. It has not deterred him because it is 6 180s.
Look at the smile on Jamie Lewis's face when he hit that 180. Professional dart players still get joy from hitting stacks of 180s, and Jamie Lewis is doing that right now. He's in again. He can't miss it.
Jamie Lewis went 5 darts into the 9 in leg 4. He has gone 6 darts into it here and has left 141 for the perfect leg.
41.
Oh, a little bit of juice on that one and the smirk. But most importantly right now,
130.
He's got a great chance of leveling at 5-5 and taking this brilliant match all the way.
43.
Yeah, well, this should be Jamie Lewis's leg. It's going to take something catastrophic for it not to be. For a last leg decider. Double 2. Oh no.
9.
Oh no. He's in the madhouse. And Smith back on 313. I mean, he couldn't, could he? It would be the most ridiculous way to win what would be the winning leg.
1 up, 1 in is the rule for double 1. Not for double 5, but it's double 1 he needs. He can't miss it, surely. Yeah, perfect guides. Use them. It's 5-5.
Tell you what, that is textbook stuff as George 6'5" Noble gets another last leg decider. And look, this is fascinating because Michael Smith, in his run to Gibraltar, every single match he won was a deciding leg until the final, when I think he won it 6-4 against Mensur Suljovic. Jamie Lewis has made a habit when he's playing well of producing last leg deciders. Oh, and hitting 180s in those last legs, and it just deflects out for what would have been his 8th 180 in this game.
2 for the record, wasn't it?
140.
Well, he's not going to equal the record, is he? Unless he decides to bust his score.
Yeah, you can't leave 1. But sensational effort from Jamie, and that is an amazing adjustment.
140.
Twice. He's putting so much pressure on Michael Smith's throw. Smith can't afford any mistakes.
An unstoppable force in Michael Smith, an immovable object in Jamie Lewis, but only one of them can make it through. Once again, Michael Smith has left the 170. And he couldn't win it with a 170, could he? He's going to have to go for it. Both men on huge finishes after 9 darts.
What Jamie would have given for a 140 right there.
And only 45, and it could be. That could be the mistake. It's only a small mistake, but it's a huge one in the context of this game. Treble 20, treble 18 ball. Oh. Still work to do.
100.
Wow.
Big ton. Big ton, but look at the bullseye. Look at the 60. Look at the tops.
105.
It was so close to magnificent from Michael Smith. The 125 checkout missed on double top. Jamie Lewis, 64 left. Only gets 1 match dart. It's a dart at double 16. And the Welshman has missed as well. And surely that was the chance that Jamie Lewis needed to take. Double 10 for Michael Smith, and double 10 is there. And Jamie Lewis, fantastic grit, fantastic determination, and a tremendous matchup. But despite averaging 10 points more than the number 5 seed, Michael Smith has managed to overcome Jamie Lewis and book his place in the final day of action. There is a lot of good signs in Jamie Lewis's game right now, but it wasn't quite enough to make the final day of the Happy Bet German Darts Grand Prix. Michael Smith still in the hunt for a 5th Euro Tour title of his career and a 2nd of this year, and once again he finds a way to win. 2 young players putting a fantastic show in the penultimate game of the night. We've got one more for you as the Swede Daniel Larsson takes on the Aussie Simon Whitlock, as the former European champion rounds off tonight's action.
Congratulations. It's good to see all these young kids over there, huh?
That's the next generation. I'm 26 and I feel like I'm getting old in this game now. So, no, seeing these here, hopefully they're back in maybe 10 years' time. Hopefully I'm top of the game then, playing the players. But no, it's nice to see kids coming watching. It knows the sport's in good hands now as well.
You didn't look very, very satisfied with your match.
My mind's somewhere else at the minute. My missus was due to give birth on Wednesday, so she's 3 days over, and that's in my mind waiting until she texts me and says she's gone into labour. So my mind's somewhere. I just turned up, hoping for the best that she doesn't, and I can make it back for Monday then.
Yeah, you got a boy, right? One boy?
Yeah, and I've got another baby boy due as well. So it's going to be fun times in my household.
There's something on too, you know. Mensur Suljovic got a daughter now. Michael is a father. Yeah, the darts players are productive, I would say.
We're trying to make the sport even better, bringing the young ones along. like I said, he was supposed to be due on Wednesday. It's the missus' birthday today, and I'm away. So when I get home, I'm not in the good books and all that.
What's possible here in Mannheim? How is the form? What do you think?
Form's good. It just looks like he was struggling on the stage a minute, but 11 legs there, 11 holds of throw. I wasn't playing well on each throw, and I was doing enough on my own. But the only thing that I come here for is to win the tournament, and you know I can do it. I've done it 4 times before, and why not make it a 5th today? Tomorrow, sorry.
See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. Der Bully Boy Michael Smith, der mit den Gedanken irgendwie ganz woanders ist, weil auch er Nachwuchs zu Hause erwartet. Seine Frau ist schon